What is going on, everybody?
Looks like we made it.
Yeah, you made it. You made it, dude. You made it. Congratulations, Victor Oliver, Scott Faulkner, Joseph Rojas, Jeremy Lubecker, Ryan Laughlin, Javier Gonzalez. Ryan, I also got your photo, man. We'll get you out that replacement tomorrow. Javier Gonzalez, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode 49.
Oh boy,
49.
Next week,
which means next week is 50.
We're gonna do something special next week.
We're gonna do something special for you guys for all of your support.
And the following week, episode 51, we'll be at SHOT Show.
Yes.
So we're gonna probably do one remotely.
Yeah.
Maybe at a booth. Maybe walk around. Hopefully,
I think it'd be cool to walk around. We might have the opportunity
to
interview and have some of our friends from the industry that will be at SHOT Show live with us. I think that'd be really cool.
Oh yeah, that'll be a lot of fun.
When we did it at Extravaganza, that was a big episode. There was a lot of people there. We had John from Team Defiance.
Right.
This year, I want to up that. I want to bring in the guy. We had Christian from Enola Gay.
Right. How about we skip next week, right? And we do 50 at SHOT Show.
Oh, we can do that. We can do that.
We do a brief one. How about we do a demo or outside shot doing something different, and then we do 50 at SHOT Show live. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I think that'd be like really celebrate the big 50.
I think that'd be cool. We'll do, like I said, we're gonna have something special for you guys, and we're gonna have to talk about something internally, but it came up a lot faster than I thought. I mean, it's been a busy couple weeks. We're getting ready for SHOT Show. We're gonna be there that's the 21st through the 24th.
We'll be there for entire week. From Monday, I don't know what it is. It's following week Monday, and then we'll be there from Monday to Friday. We'll be back Friday evening.
So it's going to be awesome. I'm really excited for that. I hope this is a good opportunity for me and KT to kind of see what's going to be here in 2018.
Right.
Give us a lot of ideas. This is the first year that we're going to be there as a company for our booth, and then hopefully that will be a forever thing, because SHOT Show is a big convention. You're talking about, I think they said last year, 300,000 total participants that come throughout the week.
Right.
It's
over 10,000 vendors.
Yeah, 10,000 vendors, and
you get there, your blind just like blown up.
People everywhere. There's people everywhere.
It gets dizzy. You get in there and you just don't know where to go. You take 10 steps, and if you're lucky to make through one floor. They have like multiple floors. And
it's
pretty intense.
You'll never. I mean, honestly, you really have to map it out. Because there's no way, even within that week, you're going to be able to see everything. You're talking about several miles, miles at the Las Vegas Convention Center. So if you've ever been there, I've done a few trade shows there, all law enforcement, military, and I literally got lost one time. I didn't know what floor I was on and where. It's like Vegas casinos, no clocks, no nothing. Right. It's just like a time warp. You're just like, wait, what happened? And then
the way they structure everything, and they meant for you to get trapped in there, and you're lost, and you don't know your way home.
As KT would say, lost in the sauce.
The sauce.
So that'll be. I'm excited for that. So me and KT are going to be tackling that. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about the new Breacher series sniper rifle, bolt action style, with the Vortex. And I think we're going to have a couple new series coming for you in the next couple weeks. Me and KT are kind of going through.
We're building them right now, actually.
We're building them up and changing them around. I have a new series that I'm going to release. Just haven't had the time, but I want to get that done before we leave for SHOT Show and up and running for you guys. We have to put up the John Wick series. A lot of you guys have been asking me about that. I'm so sorry for the delay. We're waiting on some parts for the 468, and then we had some other stuff go out of stock that we had to replenish too. So we'll probably get that up this week. Yeah, you think?
We should.
We should be able to get it.
We'll have a lot of requests for an inexpensive, a good, simple, easy sniper system for new players. And even existing one. The one out there, the cost is a little bit higher, and at the same time, it's not so easy to operate. So we built a simple version for you. Price point, perfect. You get pretty much everything you need to get good long-range shots. Let's play video for you before you go details, okay? So,
sports. What's going on, guys? This is MCS Red. Today I got a video for you on the brand new Vortex Reacher sniper rifle. This bad boy right here, we'll start from the rear. You got that DMA buttstock, which has the tank and stock variation. This is the longest of the stocks that we carry, so it does give you that special DMR type of look. 13 cubic inch tank, standard guide rod. You can put that universal guide rod on there if you want to. It allows you to bring up that buttstock just a little bit if you're not a fan of the length. We have the Ump Trigger Frame, which is the gap killer that we've released for the Vortex specifically. Has that safety selector, which is really awesome. I really like this. I think this is a must-have for those of you guys using the Vortex. You have that Weaver to Picatinny rail mount here that has a standard Picatinny on top. We give you a high-rise scope mount with 3 Picatinny rails on the sides and 1 on the top. It's going to allow you to add an RMR for those of you that want to take this into more a CQB type of situations. 3x9x40 scope. You have, of course, shape projectile ready right out of the box. Your magwell, standard magwell, uses Helix, D-mags, whatever you want to do. Your 12-inch quad rail Riz. Spectre bipod has multiple areas of for you to use in many situations. And of course, you get that one-shot 20-inch barrel. You heard me correctly. 20-inch one-shot barrel, spywed rifled, made for those shape projectiles, and then that Reaper suppressor. The only detail that I forgot to mention is this is a bolt action style marker. So a lot of you know that the Vortex comes in a semi-automatic platform, but this particular model is bolt action, which means you'll have to cock this back, and you're going to see this here shortly, and pull it forward in order to chamber that round. So this is not a semi-automatic version. This is designed for you guys that are looking for that low budget, affordable, friendly sniper rifle profile. So we're going to take a couple shots. We're at 50-yard spot right now. Our target is right down there. We're going to shoot at that white STL target. You're going to get it center mass. We're going to take about 3 shots and show you exactly what is capable of this bad boy. Today, conditions are a little windy, definitely cold. It's rainy over here in Gilroy. So we'll go ahead and show you what we're hitting on the chrono, and then ultimately what we're hitting on the target there. All right, so let's go ahead, turn our chrono on. And we're using shape projectiles here. It's nice and locked in. Do a chrono test first. So like I said, this is a bolt action model. You have to cock this back, push it forward to chamber that round. All right, 277. Like I said, this is a bolt action system. So we're gonna go ahead and cock it back, push it all the way forward. We're gonna take a couple shots here at our mannequin. Boom, center mass. I'm gonna cock it back. I'm gonna slow down here, let the cameraman zoom in on our mannequin so you can actually see the shots hitting. Center mass. One more shot here. Center mass, and we'll do one more for fun. Try to get a headshot. Boom. Kill shot right there. So, as you can see, at 50 yards with shape projectiles in this exact setup, it can be done. Every single shot in that 20-round magazine is going to hit that target. Obviously, skill level permitting, but it's not hard. You can zero in. This definitely would shine with an HHA optimizer or any optimizer of sort that's going to allow you to adjust that cant and arc of the projectile itself. This bad boy is going to be available on the mcsus.com website. If you guys have any questions or concerns, you guys know where to find us. We'll see you guys out on the field.
All right, guys. So, yes, that was a screen, recording a screen. Yeah, you're watching on a screen. There's no secret that this is not a huge production, okay, guys? We're doing this, me and him. So, I'm sorry if it's not up to your standards. If you're watching from a 4K TV, a VR machine, I don't know what you want from us. I'm no Spielberg. It's hard to believe I have one semester of junior college under my belt. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, we just want to show you the video. We did that today. You can watch that from your VR, your 4K TV.
Right. The link is on the Facebook
in the link,
page.
yeah, it's on the Facebook page. This is it. This is it right here. This is the bolt action Vortex Sniper. This is a cost-effective way for players to get into that sniping role and allow for I don't know, allow for you to invest into that platform. We had the Blizzard Sniper.
That's a
It's a semi-automatic version. This was a bolt action friendly. This is like a blow forward. It is very efficient. Through our testing in the back, this is a 13 CI tank. I have not filled it up since we took those shots, and that's what
3 mags.
3 mags worth, and we are just under 2,000 psi.
So you would expect about 5-6 magazines, just like you would with the semi version. I would expect that much.
But with the barrel, you get just a. I mean, it's not dramatic, but I would say probably at least 5 to 6 more shots with that blow forward system.
And yes, long. Are we still wrapping up again? We sure.
Yeah.
We are.
As far as how we did it, that's a secret. I don't know if you want to tell them.
You get one and you take it apart. And
you find out.
It's built off of the pump version. We kind of changed how the bolt and the charging handle interact, and can you cycle back a couple of times? Okay, so rack it back right there. Move forward, shoot it, dry fire.
There's air in here.
Yeah, dry fire it. Kapow. Rack it back. Really simple. I mean, you can't. As a bolt action, you can't really go wrong with this setup. The DMR, right hand side, a lot of movement. The SAR 12, you have to rack back and forth really quick, otherwise have a flip. A lot of SAR players, they do recognize that, so you are getting one of those guns, you gotta have a little time for learning curve. This little guy here, big guy, little guy, plug and play. Just you point the muzzle and you aim your scope, and where it goes, you shoot it.
And we had this zeroed in at the 50-yard mark, and that's just because we wanted to show the consistency and the ability to shoot the 20-inch barrel with this marker specifically. The bolt handle, we do know that, guys, and if you do pick one of these up and you're not a fan of the plastic, we do have the metal ones available. That's going to give you a little bit more durability. There's been a lot of people that have made their own, honestly. You can definitely do that, but there are no plans to change that up at this time. This is just a all skill level sniper rifle that's more affordable, allowing players to get into that role, or even just have this as another gun in their collection that's going to allow them to shoot shaped projectiles at those longer distances at a more consistent and efficient rate.
Especially the behind this is we want to build an inexpensive system for people who want to play the sniper role. Plus the best thing about this too is that you can still upgrade it, and this is charging hand. Obviously, we don't know how well received the system going to be. If a lot of people like it, we're definitely going to build more and improve and grow this series. But like I said, this is going for about $500, and it's also the auction of the gun today. So you guys are looking for a base sniper system. This is up for grab. So starting bid is $100, and we can go from there.
So this is the auction gun today, guys. So you can start bidding now. We're going to try to keep the show at right at an hour. I think sometimes we've been getting a lot of like, oh, you guys always start late, or oh, you go too long. So we're going to try to keep it right at an hour. We're going to try to get started right at 4:30, so that way we meet the needs of all of our viewers. So just to show you what you're getting here, you got a DMA buttstock. This is the longest of the buttstock, like you saw on the video. 13 cubic inch tank with the standard guide rod. You can put the universal guide rod on there if you want to actually move this up just a tad. You get the Weaver sight rail. This is the Weaver to Picatinny version, which allows you to have this entire metal Picatinny rail. UMP trigger frame here. This is my favorite. Like I said, if you have a Vortex and you don't have the UMP trigger frame yet, you're messing up. You're doing something wrong with your life. You need to get that going. The UMP it's beefier. It feels a lot better. It's got just its material, that polymer material, and then of course that gap killer right there. It just
goes together.
It makes it look like one complete marker. You know, like when the Vortex is already very modular with the pins, which is one of my favorites to tech as well as to work on because it's super easy.
Right.
You know, everything else just screws and you kind of get lost in the sauce. That's my new favorite thing, thanks to him now.
Right.
But, you know, shape projectile ready, of course. You can put the lock bolt in here if you want to. You get the new version Vortex shells with the standard ASA. You can add the drop-down ASA if you really want to give you even better eye relief. We give you a high-rise scope mount. This is a 3x9x40. Plenty of magnification for a 100-yard shot. No problem at all. The only thing that I would recommend, okay, there's a zoom ring here. And at the 50-yard range, we have that at 3. That's the lowest zoom that it has. And this will go all the way up to 9. Yeah. So you can really get down pretty far with this optic. It's not necessary for those that are going to be shooting at the 70, 80, 90-yard range. This marker can do it, hands down. There's no doubt in my mind, 100%. If we would have shot a full 20-round magazine of FSR at that target, we would have hit it every single time. It's zeroed in at 50, so you could actually just change your zoom and overcompensate the shot, and you'd be able to hit those 70, 80, 90-yard shots, no problem. Weather permitting and obviously skill level permitting. For this bad boy really to shine, put an optimizer on it. Either the First Strike optimizer or the HHA, any of those. Supremacy scope, yeah, if you guys got that, boom, this bad boy would really shine with that, and it'd give it a little bit more sleek look. I'm not a huge fan of the high res just because you have this big space here on the top, but for this purpose, it is very functional. So you do have a Picatinny on both sides and the top on this high-rise scope mount, so you can put an RMR on there, so you can adapt this to a CQB platform. If you don't want to, snipe with this thing, you could put, a 14, 16, even an 18-inch barrel on here, one shot, and you can apply to a more of a DMR, designated marksman role, through the field, but not have a super long setup like this, if you're not looking to just, sit in the back and pick people off. You get that Milspec barrel nut adapter, which is going to allow you to put real AR handguards on there if you want to. You can this has a quad rail Riz on it with the Milspec barrel nut, so plenty of space on here. Spectre bipod is my favorite bipod that we've ever brought in. 20-inch one-shot barrel, brand new to our arsenal, and then of course that Reaper suppressor there.
20 inches one-shot barrel included, guys.
Yeah.
The barrel alone is almost like $200.
$200, exactly.
So you get, like I said, we built with some of the best component, but at the marginal price, so that way you guys have a decent system for doing that long range shot.
Yeah.
So I think this is like ideal situation for players. I mean, any of the bolt action system right now, you run into like $600 to $1,200 or $1,400 to get a decent system. So this is why we built it. We get a lot of players that want to get into sniper, but they can't able to shell out the big bucks for it. So we built a decent system for that to answer for those players that want it.
And we've sold quite a few of the Blizzard snipers. When we built that and we put that out there, that was the only of its kind entry level or even mid level. It runs around
what, 350?
Yeah, 349.
349.
But you get the scope and the rear air. That was the only marker that had the tank and stock a package with it.
Right.
So I mean, if you were to build this marker alone, you're in the $650, $700 range.
And it doesn't have the rifle barrel. So
exactly.
This one actually has a rifle barrel. It has the bolt action too, so if you're doing a sniper setup, this is the way to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, that bolt action system, I mean, I know your guys gripe with the charging handle. That's not the first time we've heard that, but it's honestly, it's not that bad. This does not require a violent action to put it into into gear, I would say.
So it's simple. You take your rack and then you go fire.
Yeah.
You rack back and you go to fire.
And that's what I like about this
Rack
is
back
that
and you go fire. It doesn't need that much.
Yeah,
point, you know?
exactly. There's
Right.
zero learning curve to this, so you could put 11-year-old behind this thing. He may struggle carrying it, but once you have that thing set up on the bipod, he's
Right.
gonna have no problem operating it. The selector switch is
Right.
very nicely placed on the UMP, which is another reason why I like it.
Right.
Big or small hands are going to be able to reach that selector switch and make your fire to safe movement.
One thing though, I just want to emphasize that don't forget that you have rack back. When the bolt is forward, right? Assume that you have a round in the chamber. When we were shooting earlier, every time we go shoot it, we rack back again. We have a double 2 rounds in the chamber, and then get 2 balls coming out.
It's just a bad habit.
It's a bad habit. So it's like I said, you rack back once, let it go. You have a round in the chamber. Actually, it's quite fun.
I mean, overall, the way that it shoots,
Consistency,
very consistent.
good.
Yeah, very consistent. And I mean, that could honestly, the Vortex is A5 internals essentially. So I mean, with the right setup, your output pressure dialed in. Obviously, this is standard A5 internals with our rear air, so it's ours, and then that 20-inch barrel and that compression that you get with the shape projectiles. It really, really, really is a trifecta. It really gets and brings out the best in every marker's internal structure. So, like I said, for entry level, all skill level snipers that are looking for an affordable way to do it, this is your option right here. So, all right. So, guys, you can. It's actually. Increments of 10, guys, for bidding. So increments of 10, and then you can go from there. How come we can't see the?
You can see what?
I want to see all the comments. I can't scroll in this.
Jonathan's playing around with the screen.
What's going
now.
on here?
Yeah, that right there.
But it won't let you see. It doesn't show you all the comments. It only shows you.
No,
what's
it's there.
coming.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we just see
Dude,
able to see all the
Facebook's
new ones.
messing with my stuff, man.
Messing with his mojo.
That's right. So anyway,
All right.
like I said, guys, the Vortex is the heaviest of all of the kits.
Heavy duty.
Heavy duty, but it is heavy. I mean, it's
made
not for the faint of
the
heart.
body. The body is made of zinc alloy rather than aluminum alloy. It's a little bit heavier, about I would say 7% heavier than the standard version. We made intentionally to balance off the weight for the future MP5 and the HK versions we coming out. We have the charging handle front with the MP5 front end with a functional charging handle, and we have the MP5 style buttstock with house air tank. That's we're working on it. Actually, it's done. We just have not gone to production because we have other things that kind of take place right now. We have Tornado that we're gonna finish off first, shape projectile, and a few other things that people have mentioned. Want to knock those out before we get it back into the Vortex. But that was intentional, so that when you build an MP5 version and you have the polymer furniture that's light in the front, light in the back, and you have the center that's kind of beefy and has a weight to it, it feels really nice. I have some of the prototype that we printed out as in a 3D print material, and it feels just right. That's the reason why we're doing the zinc alloy. I know a lot of people asking why we made it heavy. That's for the future upgrade. Otherwise, what you have a unit that's kind of, it doesn't balance. And we made it for training too, so when we have an officer or an agent that's doing any type of training, when they pick up the unit, they want to feel that weight, so it feels like real rather than just trying to kind of, when they pick it up, it feels light and it's not realistic. We want to make sure that the weight replicates what their the counterparts feels like. Well, can't John get
Staff ID for Extravaganza? Yeah, we're going to be at Extravaganza too, guys. So if you're going to be heading up there to the Washington D.C. area, it's actually in Dulles.
If you want to come in,
Virginia.
Rodell, message me and I'll work something out for you. Yeah, they don't, only staff can come in, and if you come in and help us staff the booth, staff the booth, and definitely we could use a good.
Yeah,
we could actually use a lot of help this year. We're doing the shooting drill at the show, and people actually win prize. So if you guys, any of you want to participate with us at Extravaganza 2018 this year. It's actually near the end of February, and you want to participate, message us, and so help us run the booth for a little bit, and then you'll qualify as a staff.
All right, Jennifer Kim, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Like I said, guys, we can inform everyone all day long. It's not a big deal. We are auctioning off the brand new Vortex Reacher sniper rifle. So we're at 3:30 right now with Jennifer Kim. I'm seeing a lot of new viewers, and we just want to welcome you guys to the show. MFW show, that's our MagFed weekly show. We're doing that every week, every Wednesday at 4:30 Pacific Standard Time. We hang out with me and KT. This is our
4:30 or so. Sometimes, you know, we get lost.
Check your local TV provider for times and all that, delays, all that, etc. This is not the highest production show, guys, so just bear with us. But we want to get you all the information and get you guys to interact with us, questions, etc. I saw a question. I don't know why. I don't know why it's doing this. I don't like this.
It's keep going. It's fine.
Well, no, someone asked a question. I can't see it.
Well,
if you guys are asking questions, ask it again, because what's happening is.
Well, yeah, you're 30 minutes away. Love to have you there. Message me so I can get confirmed. So that way we can get you into the system, so that way you can show up, and then we can get going. Like I said, we're doing a shooting drill this year. It's going to be a lot of fun. I have a couple targets up, and pretty much every attendees can participate in the shooting drill. We have 5 targets, and they're shooting for time. So the best shooter get a pretty decent prize, and the not so good shooter get not so good prize.
It's a high five. That's it. They actually pay us $5. Yeah, we would appreciate you guys if you guys share the feed, share it to your own page, share it to your favorite paintball group. We want to bring as many people in here as possible and share what we have going. Saw a lot of questions about the shape projectile, and I will definitely get to that. We will get to that, give you an update. I want to talk about these Skulled Eagle patches. I have a stack of these on my desk, and I want to share this guy's patch with you. So if you're placing an order soon, put in the special instructions box, I want a Skulled Eagle patch, and I will throw one in your order. Okay, I think Jeff sent me like 15 or so. So I will send this into you with your order. Just let me know that you want it, and I will get you one of those. You gave me more than I can handle, Jeff, in patches, obviously.
Someone asking about Sherwood contact, something like that.
Sherwood,
Tucker was asking about Sherwood.
Oh, I did not get in touch with him yet, Tucker. Ray Astoria, unfortunately, there is no way to put on the right hand at this time, but possibly in the future, depending on how well this goes.
Yeah, you know the thing, you can mod it too if you want. It's really simple mod. Get a Dremel and you can mod your own. You can do your own thing.
Yeah,
there.
You can do that easily
The
too.
nice thing about it, you talk about ambidextrous. If this kit will actually be functional on the Tornado, and the Tornado is actually ambidextrous. You can actually, like I said, when you first get your Tornado, the upper shell here, it's there's a cutout, and it's cut. I mean, for both sides, you literally have to punch out the material to select left or right. Another word is that if you choose the wrong side later on, you know, you would want to change side, you're gonna have an extra hole or extra space here on the left or right side. Depends on what you choose. So choose carefully which side you want to use when you punch it out on the Tornado.
Jennifer Kim, I will do my best. The show lasts for an hour, so we got till probably about 5:30 before we close the auction. We'll do that actually. We'll close it right at 5:30. So that way, if we run over, we at least have it. But you guys have till 5:30. It's 4. No, actually, what time is it?
No, that time.
Oh, it's 5 o'clock. Why the heck is this wrong?
It's a new machine. It's always.
This is what's happening. You're messing with my mojo over here. How am I supposed to do an already impossible thing? All right, so keep an eye.
Okay.
It's 5:07 right now. At 5:30, we'll shut that off. Right at 5:30, and that's 5:30 for us. So look at your clocks accordingly. Okay. So like I said, get out of here. 5:07, 5:30. We're gonna cut that off. Yeah, we do need a production crew. But for 1 day a week right now, it's not viable.
You know what though? Every week we're doing this show, and I know a lot of you guys coming in, a lot of new faces. Thank you guys for joining us. Appreciate it. So a lot of times I want to remind you guys that you guys going to play MagFed, check with ambassadors, and there are a lot of teams out there that have loaner that we have set out for them. So reach out to them and get loaners. And if you know someone who want to get into the MagFed scene, introduce them to one of our ambassadors, so that way they can get them the loaner they need to play. Tim Brooks, Dustin Hatfield, like on the East Coast, head of those guys. In the middle, you have ODIO. They have some more markers. On the West Coast, a bunch of them have them out here. In Texas, there's Hugh Perry. He's the Tactical Solutions, MagFed Solutions, and he has a few. Richard Reed in Utah, right? Near the West Coast somewhere. Well, he has some of those.
Some up in Oregon, Washington State,
down south,
Michigan now.
Right,
There's some in Michigan.
Yeah.
Sage Honey, he's over there.
Right.
There's a couple guys over there that have loaners. There's lots of places to play MagFed now. I'm not gonna lie. I think from last year to this year, you guys have done an excellent job promoting the community and allowing local fields and everything to be aware of MagFed. I think there isn't a field out there that does not know of MagFed,
right?
Which is awesome, because like I said, when we went to Extravaganza last year, we met with a bunch of East Coast field owners. They had no idea what MagFed was.
Still don't.
Yeah, there's still some that don't. But I think now
they're growing.
Yeah, I think with the amount of games that were this year, I mean, there was one every month, a major scenario. Many of them on the East Coast, but now there was Snake Eater in Texas, Operation End War. A lot of people here on the East Coast, or I'm sorry, on the West Coast, and even in the South were throwing games. MagFed Florida. Jonathan DeLeon, Dusty Hatfield, Timothy Brooks, you guys, and what's going on down there is insane.
Right.
That is like, you guys went from like this big to like this big in an entire year.
Right.
Which every single time I hear, Jonathan throwing a game, or Dusty Hatfield and Timothy Brooks, and you guys getting involved, it grows 5, 10, 15 players each game.
Right.
That is the type of growth that you're looking for and that the community needs. So seriously, guys, kudos to you guys in 2017. I really look forward to hopefully meeting you guys down there and seeing what's going on firsthand. We do have plans to hit the World Cup this year in November, and that's in Kissimmee, Florida.
Yeah, that would be great to go to that show.
Yeah, so hopefully we can make it out to MagFed Florida game. The group is super active too, which is really great. So I really appreciate all of that, just from our standpoint, and then seeing how the players are really taking it upon themselves to grow the community. That's honestly what we need right now. We need you guys to go out there, play as much as you can, as much as your wives will let you, your girlfriends or husbands, and as much as your pocketbook will let you do it. But the more you guys do that, the more field owners and everything will become more comfortable. They'll recognize the growth, and then that will allow them to jump on board. We're getting more and more calls about field owners coming in and saying to us, hey, how do we make MagFed work? I really want to get in here. I got players that come and play, but the community's not big enough, and they're going somewhere else. And that's not what field owners want. Field owners want you guys to keep coming back to their field over and over and over. So if you guys need help with that, if you guys need ideas or anything like that, I have a configure Mevo.
Check your phone. I think we're still connected.
I didn't touch it.
Oh boy.
I didn't touch it.
Why you break it?
This is what happens.
Oh man,
this is my nightmare.
Something
this
went
is my
wrong.
nightmare right here.
Like I think we're back. I think we're back. So
it did this last time.
Yeah. I think we're still connected. So let's keep going. What was I? What was I talking about?
All right, so I think we're good. I'm watching it. I'm watching it.
Close reload, restream, still good. All right, we're still good. Awesome.
Victory.
Victory road.
I didn't do it though.
Wanna shut down your volume there?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so anyway, are they using dial-up? No. We should.
Well, we have a fiber optic line going through this facility, but it's pretty big, and so sometimes we're in an area where the signal is not too good. We're using the Mevo system now, so it's wireless. Sometimes, you know how wireless goes. It gets disconnected, and a little bit signal go to poops there. Let's go to. Can you reveal this real quick?
Yeah, let's go. We're at 5:15 right now. We're at
15 more minutes.
here.
Jonathan's gonna go over you guys what we auctioned off for today, and then let's connect this final run here.
All right, so we got the DMA tank and stock package here. This is the designated marksman stock that we use for all 13 CI. You can use a 17 CI if you want more shot capacity. Standard ASA back cap. You can put that drop down ASA back cap if you want a little bit more eye relief, depending on the mask and goggle setup you're going with. You have that UMP grip with the safety selector, which is really nice, really snappy. Shape projectile ready, of course. You have a Weaver to Picatinny rail mount, which does add a little bit of height, but it also allows you to have a standard Picatinny on top. So we all know Vortex A5 had like this much dovetail mount, which is like ridiculous. So we give you a high-rise scope mount with 3 Picatinny rails, 2 on the side, 1 on the top for an RMR, anything like that. It's going to allow you to adapt to those CQB setups. 3 by 9 by 40 optic here, so perfect and great for those 100-yard shots. Quad rail Riz with Milspec barrel nut adapter, so you can swap this out, put a real steel handguard. Highlight of this bad boy is the 20-inch one-shot barrel with the Spectre bipod and the Reaper suppressor. We're at $350 with Jennifer Kim. We're going to shut down the auction at 5:30. We're at 5:15 right now, so 15 more minutes. We're going to cut that off. That's 5:30 our time, and then we'll announce a winner there.
And by the way, this is a bolt action. It's not semi-automatic.
Correct.
Okay? So basically, for each shot that you guys are taking, you have to rack this back, forward, and that would chamber around in there, and off you go. Jonathan was shooting this early today, 50 yards, pretty much like this much grouping every shot. So this, so this is definitely one of those markers. Well, reason why we built this, a lot of players who want to get into sniping, but they cannot really fork out the big bucks for the higher end one that we have. Like the average run about $800 to like $1,200 for a decent system. So we decided to build kind of like a easier, I would say, a simpler system for new players to come in and do sniper. Some of the, like the SAR 12, you have to rack it back really quick. You have to do a snap to it. If you don't do it correctly, the round will kind of flip and you messed up. So with this, you can't really go wrong. You just can pull back. It doesn't matter if you do slow or fast. It doesn't matter how you do it. You just pull back, let it go, and then you have the round fluid chamber. So what we recommend, you go back and then follow through forward, just like playing tennis. Just follow through, back, lock round the chamber, and you can shoot it off. That's a key thing in mind. So that when new play can come in, it can just open the box, load the round in, air it up, and go play. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, no, like I said, zero learning curve on there. The only thing they'd have to know is how to zero that in, but it's not hard as well.
That's part of the fun.
Yeah, it's part of the fun, exactly. One thing I forgot. Want to congratulate Nightmare PB. He just hit 50,000 and is already above, and he's on his way to 100K now. That's a huge, huge stepping stone. I remember when I posted 13,000, and 13 or 14, Brian, I think it was when the last time I shared that, when you were doing that to get to that milestone. But now you're at 50,000. And that was only, so many months ago.
Right.
So
Hey,
your channel is growing
Right.
super fast. We thank you for all that you do for us. And I'm glad that you like your PTR, and we're going to help you get to that 100K mark, because that's an awesome accomplishment.
It's, you know what, it's to show you that if you work hard at it, it will come. So, like they say, good thing comes slowly, great thing comes all at once, right? So Keep it up.
Yeah, dude. And your videos every week, they always outdo each other. And I enjoy watching them as a viewer. And I know that a lot of other people do as well. So continue going, man. All right. Let's give you an update here. I know a lot of people have been asking. Shape projectile. 518, guys, just to let you know. Shape projectile. All right. We are expecting our fixed sample this next week. And me and KT are going to do a lot of testing with it. But as soon as you receive it, it's perfect timing because the following week will be gone.
Right.
So we want to get in as much as possible, and then we will update you guys accordingly. We've answered a lot of questions regarding the shape projectile. The name, I don't think we've really locked it in yet. I think we've talked about just SPR, but I don't know if I like that 100%.
It's really hard. We've been when we first started out the project about almost 6 years ago, and even today we kind of have a hard time deciding what it's gonna be. Like I said, some name were floating around like Counter-Strike. That was kind of funny thing. We kind of still go back to the SPR shape projectile round. That because the round itself has multiple uses. It's not just for the recreational aspect of it. We also gonna make the rounds for training and for different type of application as well. So we still kind of figured out the best solution for that. We just don't want to create a name or set it up where we isolate one group from the other. So we still will make a neutral name where it's acceptable and it sounds cool. I don't know, I call them Macy rounds. Maybe
Adam, I didn't see you come in here. What's going on, buddy? Tier 1 armament in the house.
Macy's come over and say, hey, you're
Silent death round. All right, Jen, you need to take a break.
SDR. Okay. No whistle like that.
That's a little aggressive for magazine-fed paintball.
Ghost
there.
rounds. Yeah, we're still looking for a solution, a name for it. But until the day, I think by the time we release it, we're gonna make the
STD.
STD.
That's already taken by multiple names. Herpes, gonorrhea.
Right. But definitely we're about to print the box. So we have to make a decision pretty soon about next 2 weeks. We have to come with a name and stick to it, and that'll be the end of it. But in about no less than 2 weeks, we should be doing some major shooting video for you guys. We have the adjustment made already. Like I said, some of the correction that we mentioned, like the rear tail was a little bit too big than the dome. We corrected that. It's not center, and the drive band was a little bit loose and was not centering, so we made a correction on that. So in about 2 weeks we should start shooting them, and once we're able to get through that, then we'll go next stage and we'll inform you. But that's the one thing we can't wait is to shoot, make a video, just kind of plinking them away. That's like one of our dream right now. Looking forward to do that, and we'll share that with you as soon as we have that in.
A lot of people, there's a lot of tests that we want to do, that I want to do personally. There's a lot of people who are very interested in the ability with the new Nemesis barrels, the ability with the different lengths of the hammerhead barrels.
Right.
Ideally, guys, like I said, it's a pretty simple, no, I wouldn't say simple, but it's complex in many ways, but simple as far as its technology and how it will grab the rifling of any type, whether it's straight, rifled. Nemesis has their what is that called? The score, not a score. What is it called? They have a special name for it, where it actually creates an indent in the projectile and it acts like a track as it exits out of the barrel. It's a special technology that they have, but.
The thing about it with these rounds is you don't really need a special barrel to shoot
exactly.
it. You can shoot out of a smooth bore barrel. It will shoot good. Straight rifling, it was just as good. Best is obviously the rifle barrel version. Like I said, we don't have not enough tests to tell you the difference in the performance.
If there is any, yeah.
Because when we first did our tests on them, they shoot. When you shoot out from a smooth bore barrel, it's go pluck, 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 like a popping sound. Exiting barrel, that because the dry band just kind of seal up the chamber really well, and you get like a plucking sound. Just the way if you shoot a Nerf round out of like a rocket, and the moment that the projectile exit the bore, you hit a poink, poink. That's how it sounds. So that to tell you that the compression is working. The second thing from that is that once you change the shape of the projectile, so from a round ball to like D shape, that's also changed the flight. And thirdly, without any physics or whatever that you guys talk about, weight distribution. All right. So if you have a projectile that has a front weight that's heavier, one hemisphere is heavier than the other, it will fly 10 times better than having a projectile that the front and rear hemisphere are the same. Like you play badminton, right? So the front hemisphere really heavy, the back is just lightweight. So when you hit it, it just flies straight. It doesn't deviate. Once you put energy behind the projectile, it will fly. The more energy you put behind it, a better fly. The more the better trajectory you're gonna get. So of course, with paintball, we cannot put too much energy behind. You can put certain amount of energy, so the impact is minimal. That's where you can be consistent from one projectile. From one shooter to the other. I mean, you shoot the same velocity, so therefore you put the same energy behind each shot. So therefore, it's fair when you play. That's what I'm saying. That's why that's important when just that alone, right? You're not talking about how the barrel interact, how about if it rotates or not, it's how many rotation per second, doesn't matter. But if you just talk about those three aspects, compression, you're talking about weight distribution, you're talking about the shape, just those three things alone will get you around that shoot consistent.
Right.
Anything better than the current spherical projectile now. So
I think modern combat round is
really?
the name right there. I like that. I
MCR,
actually
okay.
like that. MCR. That would
Okay.
look good on packaging.
Okay.
All right, you got the wheels turning, guys.
Okay.
We'll go to that. We'll go to that in a minute. So another thing too, a lot of people have been asking. I saw a question here. What is the smallest bore size barrel that we can use for those projectiles? The best part about our projectiles is that the round itself doesn't and will not necessarily come in contact with the barrels inside. The drive band, which is the technology that it's based after, and if you haven't heard this before, there's a couple of what are those 120 millimeter rounds in our lobby here?
Right.
They're tank rounds.
Yeah, those.
Those giant, 120.
Right.
Yeah, I think they're 120 millimeter rounds that come out of a tank. The tank shoots them out, and what it does, it has a drive band on there. If you guys have seen the tag projectiles, tag-in projectiles, the new ones, they have rifling within the shell that catches that, similar to what the Nemesis technology is using. And that allows the barrel with that, even with a 40 millimeter shell, and it's only about this big,
Right.
for that round to go and be effective about 400 feet. That is similar technology. The drive band will do that. It will allow you to use, we're looking at 687, right? 687 bore will probably be...
The drive band?
No, the drive band's 690, but the
round?
The lowest bore barrel will probably be 687.
You can do smaller. The round itself, it's 683. Barrel wise, if you shoot, I think the smaller you want to go, probably 8.5, even 8.4. You start getting more drag at 8.4, but the best ideal is about 8.7, 8.6. Like I said, I think I mentioned a few times that we made the rounds based on the hammerhead barrel. So we have the barrel, we make the round like kind of compatible to the barrel rather than doing the way around. Because the barrels all existed, we don't want to go reverse it, right? Making a barrel is not simple. You have to make the tool. First, you gotta get drilled through the bore, and then you have to make a tool to do rifling. That process, oh boy, it's
It's a lot of work.
yeah, it's a lot of work.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
So, I mean, ideally, even then, with the drive band, so you're looking at about 684 on probably the lowest amount, lowest bore size barrel that you'll be able to
Right.
use. Now, because the band is 690, it's going to allow you to use even slighter, bigger bore barrels like 688 and 690, and still have that good compression that you're looking for. That foam band will have a little bit of give, so even if you have using a smaller bore barrel, it will allow that drive band to get into the rifling and snug up a little bit better for better compression. That's ideally the technology and science behind it, which when we test, that's what we're going to be looking for. We want that compression. We want to be able to hit a small paper plate size target, all 20 rounds, continue, and even more, magazine after magazine, at 50 yards or more. That's our ideal space. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're trying to fill. That's what we want you guys to have, because the more you guys can shoot at those distances, it allows your skill level to have to increase, because you're going to have to compensate for those shots. It's going to have the similar arch to FSR and shape projectiles that are already on the market, because that's the nature of the shape, and that's what it's going to do over the with that shape, essentially. So that's ideally what we're looking for, but to be able to shoot this big of target at 50 yards every single time, that's what we're looking for.
Is that really necessary? Yeah. Because you're talking about like a torso size target. Like I said, where our aim is to hit a torso size target 50 yards consistently every shot. So that's our goal. If we can achieve that, I think we'll have made it. We achieved what we set out to do.
Brian Avery, as far as feeding, because of the design itself, there's no flashing on either end. There's no nipple, and there's also no flashing on the fins. So I do not foresee any issues with feeding of those projectiles in any magazine on the market. That means without recreation. All right, Jennifer Kim, congratulations, you beat the buzzer. I just saw that change and saw yours pop right
well
up.
Done.
5:30, 4:10.
Talking about persistent.
Congratulations, Jennifer Kim. That was awesome.
Go,
so
Jen.
Go ahead and send me or send us a message to our Facebook page you're watching us on, and I'll go ahead and get you an invoice. If you don't have an account on the MCS website, make sure you create one and give me your email address associated with it. Anyway, back to what we're talking about. Like I said, there's no modifications that are going to be required for magazines that we've had to do in the past because of FSR, but like I said, I do not see or foresee an issue as long as you're using the right springs that are going to be able to feed an FSR. You're not going to have any problems. It's not going to catch on anywhere. It's got nowhere to catch, essentially, and their length is going to be consistent round to round. That was a big reason why KT had to reach out and find these manufacturing solutions, because we were able to learn from what's already out in the market. So if we were to give you a projectile that's going to have the same issues, that doesn't do us a favor, and it sure as hell doesn't do the community a favor. So with the manufacturing process, it's going to allow us to give a most consistent round-to-round shot, and that's what a big part of this manufacturing process, and the reason why we went in that direction, is to make sure that if you have 20 rounds, those 20 rounds are going to go in that same spot. If you do not have that, it's going to be difficult. So,
Doug, no, dry band will never rip or tear. We shot, actually funny you asked that. We shot the rounds at the target, and then we picked it up, the dry band. We use a dry band, and it's still good. So that to tell you that it doesn't, if you can find it, and it's still one piece, right?
Yeah.
So it depends on the range, right? You shoot from far away, and the impact's not that great, of course, then you can still reuse it. But I also we did just do a blow test. We just kind of put a round into the bore and kind of blow through to see how it reacts, and it hold up quite well. The way the dry band is not made just any material. It's made pretty kind of non-porous, so it's pretty tight. It doesn't allow air to get inside. It's allow air to compress it, but not get inside. So it's not. I would say that when it's hole inside, what's that word?
porous.
Porous. Yeah, it's not that porous. It's pretty tight.
Well, the way that the rounds are assembled per se, because of their design, that dry band, I mean, you honestly, it'll have enough give to where you'll stretch it out before it breaks.
Right.
So honestly, there's no really way for it to get oversized unless it's already done here and they assembled it that way. But you'd be able to tell right off the bat, because that drive band is secured between the tip, the core, and then of course the tail.
Right.
So if it overlaps onto one side, you know that that's probably not good, and
Right.
you'll have to throw that out.
That's one of the correction that we have to make. The dry band that we have right now, the center hole was a little bit too big. So when you put it in, it's pushed itself to one side, so you don't have like a perfectly round dry band that seals all around projectile. Will shift to one side. It still shoot, but it's not perfect. We want to get it right. So that's one of the adjustments we have to make.
Chris Brown, will there be any low-profile magazines for the DMR? Right now, the 14-round D mag is the only option. With our shape projectile, those will feed very well, which I think that will revive their existence. Right now, like I said, because of the fluctuations of size with FSR,
Right.
it has made it a little difficult with D mags, particularly because the feed door does not retract all the way in like the Helix does. So for those of you that have that issue, it's an easy modification. You just sand back a little bit of the door, and then you can actually make that D-ring a little bit bigger if you need be. But it's not, it's not a deal breaker, but if you want that smaller round or that smaller magazine capacity, especially for sniper rifles that have the bipod and things like that, that's the best option. And it's really easy to do. But with our shape projectiles, you actually won't need to do any of that, and that will allow you to use those projectiles right out of the box.
Yeah, that's that's one of the setbacks for us when we first made the magazine. We were doing the projectile in mind to go with the magazine, but ours took too long, and we got into a little hiccup with other companies, and so we held back for so long, and we have to make some adjustment with the magazine to accommodate the current ones out there, First Strike. And so now our round's almost done. We may have to go back and make some adjustment to it to accommodate what's to the round to make it fit better. Like I said, originally when we first designed, it was designed for shape rounds. It has better geometry, more curvature, less of the sharp edges, so it's supposed to feed a lot better. But all those delays and the time we put, it's not out yet, so we'll have to accommodate. But it's almost out, so we'll give you guys all details.
We had a lot of, I was talking to KT about this over the weekend. There was a couple people who have actually reached out to me because like I said, we've been really trying to focus what's going on in the airsoft world and in the firearms world to kind of get ideas. It's where a lot of my Unicus builds come from. I just kind of look at what's really popular right now in both of those industries. And one thing that I've really seen the firearm industry really take off in the past 4 months here is the 9mm and 45 caliber AR platforms. And I thought that would be really, really cool to make, especially with our new handguards and things like that, to make a 9mm sort carbine with the 468 or even the PTR.
Right.
I think that would be really, really awesome. And with shape projectiles, it allows you to really get into those CQB platforms and just have, even using a Tipex mag, a 12-rounder, but with FSR or our shape projectiles, that's like a really, really, really cool idea. So maybe in the future, we've always had a lot of people ask, are you going to make shorter helixes? Are you going to make different capacity magazines? Obviously, we've talked to you guys over and over about the production schedule as far as what we have in the queue. The Hydra is one of those, so the higher capacity 50 round to 100 round options, that's going to come out first before we go back to that. But I do see a demand for that. I still see a lot from not just a training perspective, but also the recreational side as well.
Could you make a real MP5 mag that holds like 12 rounds? Definitely. It's just going to be longer, Tucker, because it's got to be at least, for a 12 rounder, you got to make it at least 10 inches long, because each projectile is 0.7. 0.7 times 10 is 7 inches plus 2, about almost 10 inches long. So plus all the gear and all the shell, it's pretty long.
You'd have to overcompensate a few inches for the, if it's 10 inches in total, you're going to lose 2 to 2.5 inches by inserting into the mag. So ideally, that'd be the right size. The standard MP5 when the 9mm platform is, I believe, 8.5 inches long, which makes it even smaller. So will the Hydra DMag or be DMag feeding head only, or will you still be producing it for multiple platforms? We will and do have the intentions of making it for multiple platforms. Obviously, the first ones will be for those of you who have the DMAG Helix. From there, we'll probably start with the most popular models from then on. TMC.
The two that we're gonna release right off the bat is the Tip-X and the DMAG. So those are two going to be released first because the most circulation out there, and from there, just based on requests and suggestion and see where it goes, and we'll make more. Gold member, Rashid. Right now we're running a production for the one shot. There's a couple different lengths that we out of stock with running that, and afterward we're doing T8 T8 and the Tip-X version of it. Once we're done with that, then I'm gonna definitely make the gold member. I know a lot of you guys been asking for it, but we want to get those old requests first because a lot of people been waiting for the T8 barrel and the Tip-X, the 6 inches, the same length as the Tip-X original barrel. We're gonna bring those back for a lot of you guys. So that should be in about. I'm looking. Hopefully, my schedule look like I'll get it done in February, and then in March we probably can start into the gold member. We have to start. It takes a while because we have to get a brass stock, and then we have to drill through. Have to kind of rifle through. It's a process. It's layer and layer of little things you have to do, and then you have to turn it and so on.
Nightmare PB Dagger Reflex Sight. Oh man, I like those too. But I don't think we're going to be bringing those back.
Right.
Me and KT, we have a lot of plans here internally. We have some new stuff going on that we're going to be working on over these next couple months. We do have the intention. We want to bring in the latest and greatest. We want to bring in the future of where, like I said, being in tune with the airsoft industry and the firearms industry is really doing us a favor, because we can offer more realistic and more futuristic in the now type of platforms that are going to be a lot more appealing to you guys as the users. So we do have some plans to bring in some new and improved optics and things like that after we get rid of what we have.
That's the main reason why if you look at the site now, you go to the sales clearance section, there are a lot of items, they're up for grab. Knee pad like $6, gloves $5, you get pouches for like $1, $3, something like that. So if you guys help us spread the word out of the clearance we have, the faster we can get rid of it, the more room we can make.
Tell your field owners, your pro shop guys. I mean, we're trying to get rid of a lot of soft goods, a lot of scopes and optics, lasers, a lot of little things. So if you're in the market for that, check that sale area because that's going to be you might find something like some gold mines in there, some treasures. So.
It's about I think 20 pages of stuff. So and each item it has also option too. So the full color option, size, shape, length option. So check it out. And appreciate you guys for getting the word out and help us to get rid of those old items and so we can bring the new stuff.
Felix Gonzalez, there's too many batteries out there. There's way too many batteries. The most common in most of our optics is 1304s, 1620s, and 2032s. So if it uses something outside of that, I have no idea. Obviously, most of our optics and things like that already have batteries inside them. So you can just take that and source it. Radio Shack's always my best resource when it comes to that. And then from there, I can kind of look it up. And you can buy packs of batteries now off Amazon for like $3.
Yeah.
So...
Also something, lithium battery too, we can't really ship them, so it's better off that you guys looking for a battery, go to like a local shop, Walmart or any local hardware stuff, they would have it for you, Long Jugs, Lucky's, they will have it out there, or Amazon will be the next option. Brian, you need a die-dam. We have it too, all those, we do have those drawn up. All we have to do is make them, like I said, but from the get-go, we have the two versions, like I mentioned, the DMAG and the Tip-X version, to get these things going, so that once we get that going, and we're able to kind of add more to as we go based on what's going on out there.
What is the length of this handguard? This is a 12-inch quad rail Riz metal. Nightmare PB, of course, functional. We are not worried about how good it looks anymore, guys. I don't care what you say. Tactical doesn't do anything besides have you spend money on stuff that you do not need. We are talking about functional accessories. Now with the induction of our shape projectile, it's going to allow optics to really be a functional piece on a marker. Without it, it's worthless. It's just for looks. So everything that we do from here on out is going to be about functionality. We want to give you products that you're going to be able to use and going to essentially make you a better player on the field. So
Yeah.
Nightmare PB it kind of is here and there. I mean, there's a lot of guys that I know that, you know, they only buy what they need and what they use.
Right.
For the guys that, you know, are, we don't need to get into that.
You know, the thing about it too is when Omar was with us back in the years, and he was all about look. And I'm sorry, excuse me. He's all about functionality, and look at the same time. So he really focused on making a good-looking product and functional. And I've been telling, hey, you know what? Focus on the function, less not so much on the look, because the look, when you make a product and you have to make the geometry, all the curvature, it takes a lot of time to make it look really cool and nice. At the same time, it also costs a lot more to make, because the more details you make into all the cuts, all the curvatures, all the nuance, the cost will go up as you make them. So he did listen to me. He went on and buried himself 6 months on a project, and it's I'm not saying that it's wrong, or blame for anything, but the man loves what he does. I mean, he loves making good product. He loves design. He loves. I mean, that's why you don't just spend months on a project just because, right? The love has to be there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's still at it. I mean, he's still working on it. That's why some of the project I like to release it sooner than later. But when the designer wants to input and instill his vision into a product, well, it takes time.
We love you, Richard Reed. I was waiting for a random time like that to just input it, because it feels like it's more wanted at that point. We do love you, though. We do.
Definitely, we do.
MCS tank line. Honestly, I love Ninja so much. There's no reason for us to do that.
Right. We used to have Ninja make our tanks with a brand on it, but after a while we realized that it's not really a product that we make, and we're put our name on another brand product. It's actually kind of a setback for us. So that's why a lot of the items that you see now, we just take we buy a product, we just sell it, and then we just wholesale or retail or distribute them. And stuff that we do make, we're actually really trying to focus on it and make it better. That's one of the main reasons that we're trying to kind of clear out a lot of the old items we have, and then start up new, and put focus on the line that we put together and line that we actually design from the ground up, and design and manufacture, assemble, test, and put a name behind it. That's what we're pushing for, and that's, I believe that's where the future of what we do should be focused on.
Brian Avery, new and different color app pad. That's the whole point of getting rid of these soft goods. I mean, I want to bring app pad back. I really want to see app pad get to where it's supposed to be. KT's designs for the different color variations. I think that we're talking about the camouflage itself.
Yeah, we're talking about an app pad forest, which is a green app pad. We're talking about AdPad Frost, which is kind of the white black, and we're talking about AdPad Nightshade, which is kind of the black and gray color. So we have all this thing planned out, but execution is always the beast. We still kind of take our time to kind of clear out. Like we've been around for a long time, guys. We've been around for 15, almost 20 years now, and so we also have a lot of baggage that carry with us through the years, and we have to shed those baggage slowly, one pound at a time, so that way we can stay focused and do the things that we want to do. We got lost in a vision at one point, and we lost our way, and we're slowly trying to bring focus back on what we do best, and be on top of it. If you notice, like this year we did so much change. More change have been made in 2017 than the past 4 years before that. That to tell you the amount of focus that we did, trying to moving forward to be good at what we do. So we lost like 4 years, like that last before 2012, 2016. I don't know what happened really. We didn't really do much. We kind of stopped at the 468. We made some improvement there, but that didn't happen. But 2017, we have the 2017 version 468. We have Gen 2 Javelin Bolt. We have the PTR. We have the improved version Helix. Just name a few. And 2018 gonna be just as great, if not even greater.
I think the focus, I mean, obviously the learning experience over the past couple of years has taught us a lot, not just about what we do internally, but how you guys view us externally was a big change, and that was something that we had to establish first. That's ground zero, because you have a solid foundation now. We can now move forward and do pretty much anything that we are confident in as far as what you guys are looking for. Obviously, we all know, and if you don't know, MagFed is very behind as far as like shooting sports.
In a lot of aspects. Variation, you're talking about player acceptance, you're talking about support. Many aspect for MagFed is way behind. I mean, if you compare it to paintball in general, it's a corner. Fraction of a corner. If you compare with airsoft alone, even more of a corner.
You're miles away.
So I think eventually MagFed will catch up, but we have to grow at a steady pace.
Right.
With
the community has to grow. I mean, the airsoft was nowhere near where it is now 3 years ago, and now they're averaging thousands of players per game, and they have traveling scenarios, stuff like that. And MagFed, I do see that getting to that point, but we need to do our part, our due diligence as a company to get it there. And obviously, we can't do it alone.
Right.
But there's a lot of adversity that we as a company, KT as an owner and founder, that we have to overcome for even the smallest of things. Unfortunately, and that's not necessarily our fault 100% of the time. That's just the way the industry is.
That's the nature of the beast.
Nature of the beast. So, I mean, that's kind of the biggest thing. Someone asked about tagging rounds and
those are badass.
Oh my god!
Yeah, those
we
are badass.
I threw a grenade. Okay, I'll tell the story. We're getting to the end
okay.
here. This customer came in last Friday, or no, was it last Friday or 2 Fridays ago? Either way. He came down and we got the new tagging grenades in. They have the paintball, the powder, and an airsoft version. And we have the airsoft version left. We had the paintball and powder, and some guy bought them all, every box.
We
brought them in originally for NWAR, and they got back ordered and didn't get it, and then we ended up getting them in
2017.
Yeah. So I just got them
3 months.
A month ago.
About 3 months late, but still didn't show up.
So we got him. This guy comes in, he buys one, and he says, before he leaves the shop, we were just about to close, he goes, "Hey, can I actually throw this?
Can I toss one?"
Can I toss one? I go, what do you mean? And I didn't want him to do it in the parking lot because I had heard very nice things about these grenades. So we went to the back of the building, me and Val, and he had his girlfriend and fiance with him as well. And he literally sits there with his phone, and he's got the grenade in his hand, and he pulls the pin. And these are pyro grenades, so these do have a 30-meter range as far as the BB spread and the paint spread. So these had 200 6mm BBs in there, .20s, and he's got his cell phone. He pulls the pin with his tooth, and he's holding the grenade. Yeah, I was like, oh, we're close. So I'm here as a spectator, not as a company. So anyway, pulls it, throws it right in front of him, and I told him this is a grenade that has projectiles coming out. He goes, okay, and he had his phone and a pair of sunglasses on his face, and he's just watching the freaking grenade. The spoon pops off. You can hear it going, and they have about a 5-second fuse, and that thing just went boom, scared the living shit out of him. Almost dropped his phone and got sprayed with BBs all over.
Oh man.
Not only was that the I mean, we've thrown the airsoft
thrown
pyro
a lot of
grenades
time,
from
yeah.
Enola Grenade or Enola Gay. We've thrown the paint ones.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that did not even come close to these Taggin or Airsoft Innovations grenades.
You guys got to check. It has never seen one or
if you watch a
one.
video on
Yeah.
YouTube, it doesn't do it justice.
Right.
But that's what I did. That was the first one that I've
badass.
ever seen
Yeah.
go off. So loud, oh my gosh! If you play in an indoor facility,
Yeah.
you're gonna ruin someone's day for sure. That's gonna scare the crap out of them. And then the paint and the powder dispersion was so on point. I mean, you're talking about the way he threw that grenade. It landed on its side, of course, how it's gonna usually land. Those BBs sprayed on that hole from the ground, all 300 or 180 degrees, just shot everywhere. It was so cool. Came out at probably, I would say, close to 300 FPS with the 6.20s, because from the time it went boom and it hit our loading gate, it was like second. So they are coming out of there at a very fast speed. So if you guys have the opportunity to come and visit us locally, we can sell those in the shop here. We can't ship them, but we can sell them in the shop. So come and get one, because I only have 2 left.
Yeah.
We have to place an order, but they're so cool. Like if your field allows you to use them, please find a way to get those, because those are very, very realistic. So
All right, gonna sign off pretty soon here. So 2 things I want to kind of remind you guys. One is SHOT Show. We are going to be at the SHOT Show for an entire week there. If you guys coming out there, give us a shout, hang out, stop by our booth and chat. You know, talk with us a little bit. We'd love to meet you guys and hang out with you guys there. 2 is we do extravaganza this year in Pennsylvania. We're gonna be there for an entire week as well. So you guys near that area, just stop by extravaganza and meet us up. It'll be awesome.
Jerome, you can't throw them in the shop. Even though I'd like to, we can't do that. Anyway, other than that, that's all I got for you guys. If you guys have any questions or concerns, you guys know where to reach out to us. KT and I are always on the chat.
Right.
You guys, most of you are friends with me on my personal Facebook page, so you guys can always reach out to us, or just shoot us an email.
Right.
So, once again, thank you so much for joining us every week. It really means a lot to us. We're getting more and more new viewers every week. We're going to continue doing these auctions. Congratulations, Jennifer Kim. It's the first time I've seen you on the show.
Yeah, I know.
And she ended up taking away an auction gun, which is cool too. Episode 50, we're going to do at SHOT Show, and we're going to do something special for all of you guys.
Right.
So make sure you tune in. That's not next week. We'll probably skip next week's show, but the following week we will be at SHOT Show, and that's what we'll do. The special stuff for episode 50.
We're not going to skip next week. We do something special next week, but we wouldn't call it an MFW show next week. We're doing something special next week.
Okay.
But the reason why we're doing it, because we want to make the episode 50 to be at SHOT Show. So we won't call next week at the one episode, which is the special episode next week. All right, guys, thank you so much for spending an hour with us. Really appreciate it. What's going on?
Jamie, I've been off a grinder for months now.
Oh,
dude. There's
man.
no way. There's no way. Unless it was a Candy Crush app, but different Candy Crush. Darn it.
Oh boy. All right, Nightmare PB. Well, bucket list MCS. So love to have you out here, meet you in person, and hang out with you. So let us know when you can come out and we'll chill. Thank you guys for spending this now with us every week. We appreciate it, and we hope to see you guys out there somewhere. Take care.